Okay, welcome back. You will have seen Ravi's 911 at the CSF office, so we couldn't leave without you bringing it to see in real life. So what have we got?
Yeah, so this is the CSF 911. We debuted this in 2021 at the SEMA show.
Yep.
So, you know, SEMA's next week, so it's about a 2-year-old build now. Love it. I've been driving it more and more. I just got back from the Overcrest rally with it. It was just great to get it out on the canyon roads out there.
I see some evidence.
There's definitely some rock chips, a broken headlight. You know, I've been polishing the car for about 6 days. So
amazing. Should we start front to back, outside, and then go? I know the inside's really special, so let's leave the inside to a little bit later. So front to back, obviously you've got the oil cooler situation at the front. What's the story with that? Did you use this car to develop some stuff, or what happened?
Yeah, so we started building some air-cooled models, and there's so many different types of like variation when it comes to the bumpers.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys have what this would be typical, like a 73 RS style bumper.
Yep.
So we make universal oil coolers, but they're specifically sized to fit in these bumpers. Okay. So anybody who's doing air-cooled Porsche modifications or restorations can buy these off the shelf, and they're gonna fit with the bumper. We also make a larger size for like what they call an IROC bumper, which is more like the race style.
Yeah, there's like a bit deeper racy sort of bumper, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we actually have one oil cooler there, and then we have the stock location, what they call like the right fender Carrera cooler on this side. And then this car actually has electric AC.
Yeah.
And we've put a 986 Boxster condenser on that side. So it's almost similar to a water-cooled setup where you have 3 cooling components. This one does as well, 2 of them being oil, 1 of them being AC.
So you're taking bits and pieces of different 911s to make your like ultimate build, really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've tapped into, you know, the best of the best from either air-cooled or water-cooled parts, as well as the best from the aftermarket. So
this has been really collaborative. You like worked with people for the engine, for like the wiring, like all sorts of different people.
Absolutely. I would say this car is like the epitome or like the top level showcase of Southern California talent.
Okay,
we
great.
built this car with a lot of our good industry partners, industry friends, and I was really happy at how it all came out.
So this car really is like your contacts, it's you in the 911.
Yeah, you know, when I set out to build this car, I wasn't trying to be a Singer or a Gunther Works or a Roof. I just wanted to build the best 911 that I could build to my style, to my taste, and this is what me and the partners kind of came up with.
And you know what the funny thing is? You mentioned those big names, right? This is the only one like this.
Yeah, this is a truly one-of-a-kind, hand-built Restomod 911. Everything on the car has been made by hand. It's an all-metal car.
Right.
There's no fiberglass on the car at all.
So the wider arch is metal, everything's metal.
Yeah, so it's got custom steel fenders, so that was made by hand. So obviously the guy who's Perry from Perry's Custom Metal, he needs to have something to look at to know what it's gonna look like, right?
So to know how wide it's gonna be, the wheels, everything.
Absolutely. So this has got a sunroof delete. That's also an aluminum hood, so the hood's metal. Widened turbo fenders, and then at the back, this deck lid is also made by hand. So this was made with an English wheel.
Very, very uncommon to see.
Yeah, so I think this is one of those things like everyone always assumes it's made out of plastic or
I actually thought it might be carbon, you know, because you've got the carbon inlay.
Yes.
So I presumed the whole thing was going to be carbon.
Yeah, so it's all metal, which is a little different than what some of the other like, you know, top level Porsche builders are. They're going for like full carbon body. I kind of wanted to go somewhere else. The car's still very lightweight. It only weighs 2,400 pounds.
I just touched the door handle.
Yeah.
I think things like that, it's quite cold to touch. And I think things like that makes the car seem like an old car. So the metalwork, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
To draw it back to the old cars. So the wheels are bigger than you'd normally see on this sort of like Restomod?
Yeah, so they're 17s. You know, I kind of wanted to give it a little bit more of a modern flair. I didn't want to go down for like 15s, and nobody really does 16s.
Well,
so
you get better tire choice, you get bigger brakes.
Better tire choice, and we also wanted to show off the brakes, and that kind of was like something that the brake and wheel combo was super important. You know, we didn't want to go for a typical like 5-spoke Fuchs wheel. Because you really can't see the brake calipers. Those are, you know, StopTech's really nice Porsche line.
They kind of are Fuchs style, but like almost hollow.
Yes. So this wheel is actually, they're Rotiforms. They're custom, and I worked with Jason Whipple over there. It's actually a kind of a hybrid of an old Porsche Campanella wheel, a Fuchs wheel, and a little bit of VW gas burner. So that 3 choices actually made the one wheel, and then they have custom center locks that were designed and machined by Mike from Stanceworks.
Right, okay.
Yeah, him and his good friend Nick from Nemo Technique were the ones who put that together.
Okay, and so is it a bolt-on hub or is it a new hub? How does the center lock work?
This is a hub adapter.
Okay, yeah.
So it's got the driving pins in the back, a hub adapter, and then we kind of spiced it up with, you know, like the race pins and really trying to give it that elevated look.
And for suspension, I guess you've got like a whole catalog of adjustable
Yes.
things.
Yeah. So I mean, the bottom of the car is just as nice as the interior or the exterior of the car, believe it or not. So
I can have a
it's got KW Club Sports on it.
Yeah.
And then it's got all the suspension bits from ERP and Terret.
Wow.
So all the adjustability, all the tightening. When I pop the hood in the front, I'll show you all of the suspension from Elephant Racing that's in there as well. And then in the back, the exhaust is actually a titanium 991 GT3 RS exhaust.
Okay.
That we actually cut the middle of the muffler out and re-welded it to make it shorter. And then we put these custom titanium like 935 type style tips. So it's all titanium. It's got a great pitch. And this was all done in-house at SV Auto, who was the builders of the vehicle.
So it would have been really easy for you to go for a crazy color, like, you know, pick like a pastel orange or like go. So talk me through the idea of this. Is it silver? Is it titanium? What kind of color would you say this is?
So there's actually a color from a 991 Turbo exclusive, which is gold.
Okay.
I thought to make the car possibly gold and give it that like king position. I looked at different colors all over rainbow and all the PTS colors, and I was actually looking at possibly putting like GT silver from a Porsche and then maybe mixing a little bit of burgundy in it, just to kind of tie off the interior. But that came out like very like kind of pinkish.
That could have been cool though.
Yeah, and so we did a bunch of spray outs. So we ended up going for this custom blend of silver.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you where it came from because I'm going to have a lot of copycats out there, but essentially it's a custom silver that we've kind of produced after so many different spray outs.
Yep.
We had already decided on the Cerakote, and this is like original Porsche glass that's got a little bit of a green tint. Let me show you the inside of the hood where all the suspension bits are, and then we'll get into the inside of the car. So, you know, we were kind of talking about the suspension system, obviously something that you can't really see, but you can see all this that's under here that kind of ties it all together.
Yeah.
This is all from Elephant Racing. It's a 9-point, basically a strut bar system.
Yep.
Really kind of just makes everything really tight. From here, you can see that this is the filler neck that's custom made. The electric AC system is in the smuggler box down there.
Okay.
And the other cool thing is that this actually has a battery charger, C-Tech battery charger built into the bottom.
Okay.
All I have to do is plug in a regular extension cable.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about like terminals.
Is that a 2-pin like?
It's just an American regular extension cord that you would plug in your house. So it's right underneath where the oil cooler is.
You pretend it's EV. Like
Yeah, exactly. I just plug it in and it charges, and I actually have an app on my phone from Anti-Gravity Battery. I can see exactly what the level of the car is.
Got you. I noticed when you popped the bonnet there, the filler goes with it, like it's a modern assembly. So is there a story behind that? Is that from you said 959, is that actually from a 959?
Yeah, so the builder, SV Auto, they were commissioned to restore a 959, so we 3D scanned the hood. Most people don't realize that a 959 hood is actually the same as a long nose 911.
I didn't know that.
So we were able to get the right placement, and it's just like, you know, original style.
Wow.
Pop this, and then you would just fill up the gas.
Yeah, you blow my mind.
Yeah,
That one.
so small details like that, so.
So there's some more details down here. This looks fresh, this plaque.
Yeah.
Is that the original one from the car? Or?
No, so Carbone actually makes replica stuff too that are bespoke for anything you want on it.
Okay.
So he did the door card with the VIN number information. He's got that one. So it's like kind of really cool touches that you don't really get in a Restomod.
So it actually says on here 911 RSR.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then all the bolts are from Chasing J's, inside and out. There's a lot of titanium bolts on the car.
Okay, so we've done details in the front. I'm guessing there's a whole load more details packed in the back.
Absolutely. This is where all the magic happens. So
wow.
Yeah. So what you're looking at right here is all G50 engine and drivetrain. So it's out of a 993. Started at a 3.6 liter. Now it's a 3.9 liter. It's all drive-by-wire.
Yeah.
And it's got all Kinsler fuel injection as well as their jewel piece billet plenum.
Okay. There's a hot rod name, Kinsler, right?
Yeah, so Kinsler's definitely not known in like European, like Porsche ITBs. They're starting to get into it. Definitely one of those old domestic brands, but it's crazy how well their stuff is made and what a level above everything else that I've seen.
Really?
It really, I mean, it costs 3 times the price, but it also, I think, is worth 3 times the price.
And it's little things like that that like elevate the joy. Like every time you open this, you're gonna see the Plenum.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the drive-by-wire servos are in there. I mean, those are like state-of-the-art. Those are next level.
Are these, so drive-by-wire, obviously they've got like thin shaft, like a thin shaft, like wasted shaft on them, or like what's the setup?
Yeah, so you got the drive-by-wire servo.
Yep.
It's all right here, and it's all electronically controlled. Yeah, thin shaft, and then, you know, it's all kind of controlled through the Motec.
Yep.
And the engine harness was done by Rywire, by my good friend Ryan at Rywire.
Yeah.
So it's all motorsports grade, you know, Miltech stuff and Raycam.
It's good having friends that can do stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ryan did it a great job. You know, I think he even went over and above because he's a personal friend of mine.
Yeah.
And you know, it kind of just ties in everything along with like the Wiggins clamps. Black Wiggins clamps, almost impossible to find. And it's got all BMRS plumbing and hoses on here as well. So want to make sure the car's flowing well. You know, it's an oil-cooled car.
Yeah.
You know, good story about the Plenum. We actually had another one already designed and already cut, fabricated. I mean, we had thousands of dollars into this other Plenum. And then when Kinsler called me about 80% of the way through, like, hey, we've just designed this. We really want you to get on the car. We can't give it to you for free because of what it is, but I think it's worth it, and it definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely sets like the whole engine vibe off the charts.
So what are the specs on the engine? Is it a stock capacity engine? Have you gone right through it and changed everything?
So everything's changed on it. It's a 3.6 to a 3.9. So it's got Mahle pistons, powder rods. It's got really cool camshaft by Webcams.
Yeah.
Those were custom designed, and what it is to get the power that we wanted to get. It's got a really like a high cam lob, so it gives it a very lumpy idle, very like race car motor from like an old Porsche race car. This car puts out 400 wheel horsepower.
Wow.
So it is a rocket, and like 310 torque, 400 wheel. The car only weighs 2,400 pounds, so it definitely moves.
Okay, so you wanted to stay drivable. You mentioned the cam spec. Was it like the sounds, drivability? Did you design the cams for this, or is this?
Yeah, so the cams were custom designed between Simo from SV Auto, the owner of the company. Prado Motorworks built the engine,
right?
And they were having a lot of collaboration with the engineer at Webcams. Really, the whole car is all about sensation, right? It's about what you see, what you touch, what it sounds like, what it smells like, and obviously what it drives like. So, you know, we wanted to carry the whole color palette in and out of the car.
You mentioned 993 and G50. Does that normally fit in this size 911?
No, it doesn't. So the drivetrain has to actually be sent out and shortened. So they have to shorten the bell housing.
Okay.
When we did that, we sent it out to Patrick Motorsports. We put the wavetrac diff and beefed up all the gears. So really built the transmission to kind of, you know, take the power that this engine's putting out.
The more I talk to you about this car, the more I realize that nothing is off the shelf.
And nothing is really off the shelf, you know. And if it is, it's all kind of tweaked and customized for this car specifically.
Cool. So you mentioned an important point. I think this is going to be the theme that's driven this. I'm guessing a little bit, but you said feel, touch, like experience. Like, is that something that was important to it?
Yeah, absolutely. We will, you know, everything about the car, you know, when you get into an old car like this, you want to disconnect from the modern world.
Yeah.
And I think that really was something that I was trying to accomplish is when I sit in the car, I want it to feel different. When I drive it, when I touch, and that's kind of what you'll see in the interior as well.
Everyone's going to be seeing a little sneak peek over here. So should we just get straight to it?
Let's do it. Here it is, as bespoke, as coachwork as it gets. If you don't know what you're looking at 8 bags of authentic Goyard that's being cut and put into this vehicle by Rogelio's Upholstery.
That's not a normal print either.
No. So Goyard is luxury French, I guess you would say handbags, luggage.
But isn't this colorway specific? Like,
No, this is a limited edition color.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So definitely, the story of getting the bags is just something that adds to the car itself. So
Have you not been sent a cease and desist or like?
couple times.
Really?
Yeah, by French law firms. Everyone thinks it's fake, but we got the videos and the documentation and the receipts to prove it. The thing about Goyard that's like unlike Louis Vuitton or Gucci or anything, like you can't buy it online.
Yep.
You have to buy it at a boutique, and in the U.S. there's only 6 boutiques. Thankfully, close to us is Beverly Hills, so that's where we were able to go get these bags from.
So wait a second, you've got 8 bags and there's only 6 stores. So you've gone back to the same store.
Yeah, so I've gone back and, we had to send in like, an older Asian lady to buy the bags for us. And, a lot of them are kind of weary about like resellers.
Yeah,
They
100%.
think you're going to buy it and sell it online because it's kind of hard to get. I wanted this to be the one thing that wasn't monochromatic, and I wanted to kind of pop. And you kind of see it from the outside. And
nobody is going to copy this.
no, and to be honest, Ryan, it's super hard to execute because Roger from Rohelia's Upholstery, who did this, and the only reason I even decided to do this because he said he would be involved in the project. He's an engineer as well, and he's lined up everything vertically, horizontally, and diagonally. So to get everything to line up across multiple pieces, across multiple patches, it's super hard to do. And so he did a lot of math behind how many bags we needed,
Right.
where it was going to get cut. He didn't want the Goyard name to be cut off in places that didn't need to be cut off. So he was able to kind of pattern everything to make sure that we didn't waste any material and to make it as good as possible.
All right, so Goyard check. We've got parcel shelf, roll cage, back of seats, call tags, seats themselves, dashboard, steering wheel box, and door card.
And you got the handbrake lever as well.
I missed one.
Yeah, you missed one, and the custom keychain that goes with it as well.
That was important.
And you don't see the custom Air Force Ones that he made me also.
No
So
way.
yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that's kind of come through the scraps, which is cool, like small mementos that are available through that. I got a couple keychains and shoes and all that. So I actually have a diaper bag for my kid as well, made with some of the scraps of the Goyard. So one of my favorite traits or features on the whole car is actually this billet door pin. These are made by Redline. We just got them coated, and it's just one of the best things I think on the car, right? You get rid of the plastic.
Yeah.
It's got a really nice knurled finish to it. You got the heater controls. You have the Porsche Classic radio that's actually buried behind, so it's got a small navigation screen, USB plug-in. That also was made by Oxygen Craft. We have the steering wheel that was done by Carbone.
Yep.
So we actually sent them a strip of material. We sent them 2 steering wheels because we had to take one of them apart to get the center Cerakoted and another one to be able to do the leather wrapping. So they came in very clutch for us. It's all Alcantara on the inside.
So the leather color, is this sort of inspired by like newer 911s? I think like 996 has a similar color.
Yeah, so it's like dove gray is kind of the color. This is similar. It's from another company out of Michigan called Regal Leather. They make really nice, like almost hammer textured type leathers.
Okay.
So those are all laid on these Sparco SPX seats. This is definitely obviously a modern seat, a little bit taller. Great driving position, and it does have adjustability. And in an old car that doesn't have any telescopic adjustability for the steering wheel, it kind of comes pretty handy, right?
They're notorious for driving position, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like, can be a bit awkward.
and this car is a little bit hard to drive for people who aren't my size because they literally bolted it down in the position that I felt best in. So it's definitely made for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything about it, kind of just has a very luxury feel when you get inside. It's quite a cool sensation when you're driving a fast car and you're sitting on, thousands of dollars of luxury handbags.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for this, Ravi. It's been a pleasure to look around the car. I feel like we've probably glossed over a few details. There's so many, but it's a car that I think I'll look at again next time I see it. Maybe I'll come through again and take a look, but I'll see some more again. And I can't wait to see some footage from the rally, using it to its full potential. And I hope for many years ahead you're going to keep driving it and driving it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love driving it. It's just a great way to kind of escape from the mundane world we live in and all the chaos also. And really thankful to SV Auto, who built the car, and all the partners who are involved. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to see a little bit more of it. And hopefully next year you'll be having this in the UK as well.
Yes, maybe driving it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Ravi.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch other videos of ours that YouTube thinks you'll like, then click up here. If you'd like to watch some other videos that we have in the same playlist, then click here. And obviously if you enjoyed the video, then we really appreciate if you gave us a subscription. And then obviously you'll be updated when other videos of ours go live, and you can do that quite easily by clicking here. Hope to see you soon.